Hey everybody, how's it going? What the hell is going on right now in Epic 7? So, if you've been playing RTA, or at least you've been watching some RTA, paying a little bit of attention, you'll notice that there's been a crazy shift all of a sudden. So for the past, I don't know how many months, like 2, 3 months, something like that, basically the only thing people have been doing is playing slow. They've been picking Crimson Armin, MLU Fiend, and Laya, Karina. That's basically what everyone and their dog was spamming every single game. Now suddenly, that's all gone. So what happened? Well, this guy right here, this depressed gentleman, seems to have basically changed everything. So this character overall was pretty darn strong, and I think most people probably should have pulled him. The issue being, of course, that we had a collab coming up, so it's like, can you really afford to pull for a character like this? But the thing is, this guy is kind of become the second coming of Hua Young in a way. Now, I know people love to compare everything to Hua Young. They'll be like, oh, this character does damage just like Hua Young. But there were so many facets to that character and why they're an issue that it's a little bit different. But what's so crazy about this character is he's basically Hua Young kicking someone every single turn, right? So he essentially made people go, okay, I can't really play all that tanky because this guy is one-shotting all of my tanks one by one. Because when he's activated, he will basically kill anything but a blue unit instantly. Like, no joke. Like, I don't even have an insane one, and he's pretty much just killing everything automatically, right? So this essentially made people go, I don't really want to play slow. So now we're kind of in a cleave aggro meta only. People aren't really playing anything slow at all. The whole meta completely shifted basically because of this one guy. And now they've also implemented another character that only adds to this. You may have seen this character, Sea Phantom Politis. This character also is an aggressive character that punishes you for playing slow. So it feels as though the whole meta just turned on its head completely, and a lot of players, including me, are feeling a little bit lost because I have been only cleaving for a while. I just did not like how standard play felt. I didn't like Laya, I didn't like Emily Fiend, didn't like any of that, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to only cleave. Well, now everybody that I fight is also cleaving. So now there's like a whole cleave war. Like, just don't even look at the picks, but look at the pre-bans of the players. So I always pre-ban this because I'm trying to cleave. Look what my opponents are pre-banning. Emma Landy is a pre-ban that you normally do when you're playing cleave or aggro, right? Look, they're pre-banning that and Politis. Pre-ban that, Politis. Pre-ban Politis, Laya, right? This person does not really like the aggression and also not a huge fan of Laya, right? Oh, look, DDR and Ran, they don't want to be cleaved, right? And they're bad against debuffs, so DDR makes things really difficult. Oh, look, Zeo, so they can pick fast things like Ran and Landy. So you might be noticing people are kind of banning a lot of stuff. Oh, this is Lakari right here. I lost to him. What a piece of crap, Lakari. But he's banning Genoa because the character is just so ridiculous. Like, what are you supposed to do against this guy? And look, more cleave hate, more aggression hate. And what you're noticing is the whole meta has completely changed to aggression. And so something that's really big about this that I want to talk about is the Overlord collaboration. That collaboration is going to be starting in, oh, I don't know, like 2 days from now about. I'm a little worried about it. So first we have Ainz. Ainz looks like he's going to be absolutely terrible in something like this meta. He's going to be literally worthless. Like, his skill set already was kind of gimmicky, and you look at it and you go, okay, maybe he could kind of work, maybe he won't. I don't think he's going to work at all now, because everyone's just playing so fast, that guy's never going to be able to do anything. Like, at best, he'll get one turn, and then he'll just die right after, and then 12 turns aren't going to pass, right? I just don't really see him working at all. Now, what about Albedo? So I looked at Albedo's numbers. They're not amazing. I think she's basically purely going to be an anti-cleave, anti-aggro character. Is she going to be good? It's a little hard to say, honestly. I mean, she reduces damage for the team. She has like a counterattack thing. She's really tanky. But I'm not really sure if she's going to beat some of this aggression. She's a green unit, so she's terrible against Genoa, right? And her damage isn't insane. Her bike horn strips a buff, which is great against like attack buffs and stuff, but like, is that really enough when some characters counterattack, such as someone like MLU Fiend is doing something way better, where it's actually just attack downing you potentially? I don't really know. I'm a little bit worried now. You have a character like Shaltir that's also going to come out a week later. She probably fits a lot better into this meta, but I wonder how good she's going to be too, because basically there's only two sides in the game right now. Unimaginable tankiness and unbelievable damage. And that's pretty much it. Like, you're either doing 1 billion damage to someone's dome in 1 second, or you're so tanky that you take literally 0 damage. And that's pretty much the two sides of every single playstyle right now of like what people are doing. You're either the cleaver or the cleave E every game. And I don't know if Shaltir is really going to fit into this aggro aggression kind of stuff. She's going to be good against Laya. She's going to be good against Aiden. But there's so many things that are good against Aiden right now. Anyways, I don't know if that really matters. She's a fire unit, so she's doing less damage to water units. So she's not really going to be that amazing against Karina or any of that stuff anyways. And she's not really especially good against Genoa or anything. So I don't really know how good she's going to be. I think it completely depends on her numbers, which we'll have to see. But we do have the numbers for Ainz and Albedo already, and they're just not amazing numbers. So what I'm saying is, I'm a little bit worried for this Overlord collab. The whole meta has shifted, and I feel like Smilegate wasn't really ready for that. Like, when they release a collab, they want units that are going to be popular. I mean, hell, they want to make money, right? You got to make the characters seem interesting and cool and make people want to pull them. What the worst thing ever is somebody starts playing the game because they're like, oh, I love Overlord, and then the units suck, right? So that's a little bit worrying. And hey, Albedo could be good. She has potential. I can't count her out yet. I'm just a little bit worried about her. Ainz, look, I'm counting him out. I'm going to be trying to use him, but let's be real. That guy, he needs a buff. He actually just straight up needs a change, I feel like. And hey, maybe my words will bite me in the butt, but I don't really see that happening. I think this huge meta shift, though, has really hurt the potential of something like the Overlord collab, and they kind of needed a slower meta. I also think it's just hurt the fun of a lot of players. Now, I will say I hated the meta of just picking Yufine, Ciarman, Laya every single game. I thought that was terrible. I thought it was boring. It was like the worst thing ever. But on the flip side, a meta where all people are doing is spamming Zio, Emo, Politis, Ran, and cleaving you down is not very fun either for anybody, right? And hell, that's what I was trying to be doing, so now everyone's taking my picks, so now it's just a fight over the same characters, right? I think that there's something deeply, deeply wrong with the meta, and I've talked about this, obviously, multiple times, but you notice the lack of variety from players. It's like, it's a flowchart, really. When one player picks something like Emo Politis, the other player goes, okay, now I have to pick Genoa, and then they decide, do I pick Politis, or am I going to let my opponent pick normal Politis? Okay, and then you just trade off those same characters over and over. It's like, oh, one person picks Laya, okay, well now the other person's cleaving. Oh, you picked Zio, well now I'm going to pick, you know, Ran, so you can't pick Ran, because I know you want to pick Ran, or I'm going to pick, like, Ciarman plus something and tank down. It's just, it's so flowcharty. And just, it's depressing, really. You just see the same things over and over and over and over. And I just feel like kind of apathetic to it now, right? And I really hope that something can happen. I mean, I'm not very optimistic. I'm obviously very worried, but I hope that Smilegate can really, you know, change something up. Because when everyone's just fighting over the same characters for just time and time again, and just every game feels the same, your eyes just start to kind of glaze over and you just feel like, what's the point? Because realistically, RTA has no rewards. There's no reason to play this game mode except for fun, right? You don't actually get anything out of it. I mean, obviously, once you get to Masters, you get the skin or you get a border when you get higher, but realistically, other than the skin, who cares? It's really easy for lots of people to hit Master too, so this game mode is purely for fun. It doesn't really have any more rewards. Like, getting to Emperor here, what's the point? Getting to Legend, what's the point? It's just for you yourself and for your own enjoyment. So I feel like a lot of people that I've either been reading comments of or talking to have just felt so bored and apathetic with stuff that's been going on. And even with this giant meta shift, it's like, oh man, well, you should be happy because now people are picking different stuff, right? That spiced up the meta. It didn't really, because people are still just picking the same flowchart stuff just for the different playstyle, but like, you might say that that happens for every meta, but it didn't used to be like this. Now everybody picks the literal same characters, right? Everyone is sharing the same unit pool for every match of a very small amount of characters and just saying, oh, you pick Zio, I pick Ran. You pick Genoa, I pick Politis. You pick Laya, I pick, I mean, I don't know, maybe ML Shu or Genoa or whatever, right? And man, I'm just tired of that, you know? And I think a lot of you might be too. And maybe some of you just don't care, you don't play RTA, and that's totally fine too, but I bet you feel the same way about something like Arena or Guild Wars too. I think everyone has a feeling like this somewhere deep inside, and it would be nice if Smallgate kind of upped a bit of the rewards for something like that, or just added incentive, right? So these are just some of my concerns overall, and just talking about the current meta and how crazy it is that it just shifted so hard so suddenly. And I just wanted to talk about that. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.